The days are longer, the calendar's filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, so I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten-free, and HSA/FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with code PODCAST at Gruns.co. That's code PODCAST at GRUNS.co.
This episode is brought to you by Glorify, the #1 Christian daily devotional app. Everything around us changes. God doesn't. That's why I love Glorify's 21-day challenge. It helps me build a simple habit of meeting with God every day. No pressure, just consistency. With Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, diving into Glorify's daily devotional, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. And if you need to take a few minutes to yourself in the middle of a busy day, try one of Glorify's guided meditations, or listen to their curated worship playlists for some quiet reflection. To end the day, enjoy Glorify's sleep meditations to help you wind down and put your mind and heart at ease. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about faith, Glorify has something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. Listeners to the show can get full access to Glorify for just $29.99 for the entire year. That's Glorify's lowest price ever when you download the Glorify app now at glorify-app.com/redcircle. Feel closer to God this year with Glorify. Get full access all year for just $29.99 at glorify-app.com/redcircle. That's glorify-app.com/redcircle.
Imagine for a moment the vast expanse of the cosmos, billions of stars, countless galaxies, and the infinite void between them. In this incomprehensible vastness, you might feel small, insignificant. But here's a truth that will shake the foundations of your doubt. The same God who spoke this universe into existence is intimately aware of your every thought, every tear, and every silent prayer. You are not lost in the crowd of humanity. You are not a faceless number in the grand scheme of things. Your prayers rise like incense before the throne of the Almighty. Each word carefully considered, each emotion deeply felt. When you call out in the dark of night, when your whispers barely escape your lips, God leans in, listening with the attentiveness of a loving parent to their cherished child. But let's be honest, waiting for an answer can be excruciating. In a world of instant gratification, where messages ping our phones in seconds and questions are answered with a quick internet search, the silence of God can feel deafening. You've prayed fervently, poured out your heart, maybe even bargained and pleaded, and yet the heavens seem as brass, unyielding to your cries. In these moments of perceived silence, remember this: God's timing is not our timing. His ways are higher than our ways, His thoughts deeper than our understanding. What feels like delay to you might be divine preparation. What seems like silence could be the quiet before a storm of blessing. Your unanswered prayer is not forgotten. It's incubating, growing, transforming into something far greater than you could have imagined. Now, let's talk about the nature of God's answers. Too often, we approach prayer like a cosmic vending machine. Insert a prayer, expect an immediate and specific result. But God is not a genie bound to grant our every wish. He is a loving Father, a wise counselor, and the sovereign Lord of all creation. His answers come in various forms, each tailored perfectly to our needs, even if we don't recognize them at first. Sometimes the answer is a resounding yes, a direct and immediate response that leaves us in awe of His power. Other times, it's a gentle no, protecting us from what we think we want but don't actually need. And then there's the wait, perhaps the hardest answer to accept, but often the one that yields the most growth and the sweetest rewards. Now, let's confront a challenging truth. Sometimes, God's answer comes in the form of a no. This can be heartbreaking, especially when you've poured your heart and soul into a prayer. But here's where faith takes on a new dimension. A divine no isn't a rejection. It's a redirection. It's God, in His infinite wisdom and love, steering you away from what you think you want towards what you truly need. Remember the Apostle Paul. He pleaded with God 3 times to remove his thorn in the flesh, whatever that may have been. God's answer was a firm no, but coupled with a promise. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. This no wasn't the end of Paul's story. It was the beginning of a deeper understanding of God's strength. When you encounter a no, resist the urge to see it as a dead end. Instead, view it as a divine detour leading you to unexplored territories of grace, growth, and purpose. It's in these moments that your faith is stretched, your character is forged, and your relationship with God is deepened in ways that a simple yes could never achieve. As we delve deeper into this journey of understanding God's responses, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and reflect on your life.
This episode is brought to you by Glorify, the #1 Christian daily devotional app. Everything around us changes. God doesn't. That's why I love Glorify's 21-day challenge. It helps me build a simple habit of meeting with God every day. No pressure, just consistency. With Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, diving into Glorify's daily devotional, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. And if you need to take a few minutes to yourself in the middle of a busy day, try one of Glorify's guided meditations, or listen to their curated worship playlists for some quiet reflection. To end the day, enjoy Glorify's sleep meditations to help you wind down and put your mind and heart at ease. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about faith, Glorify has something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. Listeners to the show can get full access to Glorify for just $29.99 for the entire year. That's Glorify's lowest price ever when you download the Glorify app now at glorify-app.com/redcircle. Feel closer to God this year with Glorify. Get full access all year for just $29.99 at glorify-app.com/redcircle. That's glorify-app.com/redcircle.
Can you recall a time when what seemed like God's silence actually turned out to be His protection? Perhaps that job you didn't get, that relationship that didn't work out, or that opportunity that passed you by. In hindsight, can you see how God was working behind the scenes? This perspective shift is crucial. It transforms our waiting from a passive, frustrating experience into an active, anticipatory one. Every unanswered prayer becomes a mystery waiting to be unveiled, a story of God's faithfulness yet to be told. And as you stand in this place of expectation, know that God is not just preparing an answer. He's preparing you for the answer. Let's explore the power of persistence in prayer. You might have heard the parable of the persistent widow who kept coming to an unjust judge until he granted her request. But this isn't about wearing God down or changing His mind. It's about transforming your heart and aligning it with His will. Each time you pray, you're not just asking for something, you're entering into a divine dialogue, a sacred conversation that shapes your very being. Think of it like working out a muscle. The more you exercise your faith through persistent prayer, the stronger it becomes. And here's the beautiful paradox. As you persist in prayer, you may find that what you're praying for begins to change. Your desires start to align with God's desires for you. What once seemed crucial may fade in importance, while new aspirations, more in line with your true purpose, begin to emerge. This transformation is itself an answer to prayer, perhaps the most profound one you could receive. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, doubt. It's the unwelcome guest that often crashes the party of our faith, whispering insidious questions and planting seeds of uncertainty. Is God really listening? Does he even care? These thoughts are not new. They've plagued believers since the dawn of time. But here's a revolutionary thought. Your doubts don't disqualify you from God's answers. In fact, they might be the very catalyst for a deeper, more authentic faith. Think of Thomas, the disciple who doubted Jesus' resurrection. His skepticism didn't push Jesus away. Instead, it drew Christ closer, inviting Thomas to touch his wounds and witness the miracle firsthand. Your doubts are not a sign of weak faith. They're an opportunity for God to reveal himself in ways you never imagined. Embrace them, wrestle with them, and watch as God uses them to strengthen your conviction and deepen your relationship with him. Let's delve into the concept of answered prayers that come disguised as challenges. Life has a way of throwing curveballs that can leave you questioning everything you believe about God's goodness. That unexpected diagnosis, the sudden loss of a job, the betrayal of a trusted friend, these can feel like the opposite of answered prayers. But what if these very challenges are God's way of answering prayers you didn't even know you had? Perhaps you've been praying for strength, and God sends you a situation that requires you to be stronger than you ever thought possible. Maybe you've been asking for growth, and God presents you with obstacles that force you to stretch beyond your comfort zone. It's like a master sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Each blow of the chisel might seem destructive, but it's actually revealing the masterpiece within. These difficult seasons are often the crucibles in which your faith is purified, your character is refined, and your purpose is clarified. They're the training grounds where you develop spiritual muscles you never knew you had. So the next time life throws you a challenge that seems to contradict everything you've been praying for, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what if this is actually the answer to a deeper prayer? What if God is using this very situation to shape me into the person I've been asking him to help me become? Let's delve into the concept of divine silence. Those periods when it seems like your prayers are hitting a celestial brick wall. These times can be soul-crushing, leaving you feeling abandoned and alone. But what if I told you that this silence is actually pregnant with possibility? In nature, some of the most profound transformations happen in stillness. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly in a flurry of activity. It happens in the quiet confines of a cocoon. Similarly, God often uses these silent seasons to do his deepest work in you. It's in the quiet that you learn to listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. It's in the apparent absence that you develop a hunger for his presence that no earthly satisfaction can quell. Think of Job, stripped of everything, sitting in ashes and questioning God's silence. It was in that silence that Job's faith was refined like gold in a furnace, emerging purer and stronger than ever before. Your season of silence isn't a sign of God's absence. It's an invitation to a deeper, more intimate knowledge of Him. In this quiet, you're not just waiting for an answer, you're becoming the answer to your own prayers. Consider the vast tapestry of human experience, the joys, sorrows, triumphs, and tragedies that make up our lives. In this complex weave of existence, God's answers often come through the most unexpected channels. It might be a stranger's kind word that suddenly illuminates your path. Or perhaps it's a seemingly random encounter that opens doors you never knew existed. Sometimes, the answer to your prayer walks in wearing the disguise of a challenge or a setback. That illness? It could be the wake-up call that leads you to a healthier lifestyle and a renewed appreciation for life. The financial struggle. It might be the push you need to discover hidden talents and untapped potential within yourself. God's answers are not always wrapped in shiny packages with clear labels. They often come as experiences that stretch us, relationships that shape us, and circumstances that force us to grow. Your job is not just to wait for the answer, but to live with eyes wide open, ready to recognize God's hand in every aspect of your life. Now, let's talk about the revolutionary concept of co-creating with God. Too often, we view prayer as a one-way street. We ask, and we hope God delivers. But what if prayer is actually an invitation to partner with the divine in bringing about the very answers we seek? Think about it. When you pray for patience, God doesn't magically infuse you with an endless supply of it. Instead, He provides opportunities for you to practice patience. When you pray for love, He doesn't just fill your heart with warm feelings. He brings people into your life who challenge you to love unconditionally. This perspective transforms your role from a passive recipient to an active participant in God's plan. It's like you're holding one end of a rope and God's holding the other. As you pull your end through faith, action, and perseverance, God pulls His end with His infinite power and wisdom. Together, you bring into reality the very thing you've been praying for. This co-creation process not only answers your prayers, but also deepens your relationship with God, aligning your will with His in a beautiful dance of divine collaboration. So the next time you pray, ask yourself, what part is God asking me to play in bringing this prayer to life? Let's explore the transformative power of gratitude in the process of receiving God's answers. In a world that constantly tells you to want more, to be dissatisfied with what you have, gratitude becomes a radical act of faith. It's easy to be thankful when everything is going your way, but finding reasons to be grateful in the midst of unanswered prayers, that's where the real magic happens. Start by looking at your life through a lens of appreciation. That job you're praying to get, be thankful for the skills and experiences that make you a candidate. That healing you're desperately seeking. Express gratitude for the medical knowledge available and the support system around you. This shift in perspective does something profound. It opens your eyes to see God's answers that are already present in your life. It's like adjusting the focus on a camera. Suddenly, things that were blurry become crystal clear. You begin to notice the small mercies, the tiny miracles that you might have overlooked before. This attitude of gratitude doesn't just change how you see your circumstances. It changes you. It cultivates a heart that's more attuned to God's voice, more receptive to His guidance, and more aware of His constant presence. As you practice gratitude, you'll find that sometimes the answer to your prayer isn't a change in your situation, but a change in your heart, a newfound ability to find joy and purpose exactly where you are. Let's explore the profound connection between community and answered prayers. In our individualistic society, it's easy to view our relationship with God as a solitary journey. But the truth is, we were created for connection, not just with God, but with each other. When you're in the thick of waiting for an answer, surrounding yourself with a supportive community can be transformative. These are the people who hold your arms up when you're too weak to do it yourself, like Aaron did for Moses. They're the ones who remind you of God's faithfulness when your own memory fails you. But here's the beautiful twist. Sometimes you are the answer to someone else's prayer. That encouraging word you speak, that act of kindness you perform, that burden you help carry, these could be exactly what someone else has been praying for. And in being that answer, you often find that your own prayers are addressed in unexpected ways. It's a divine economy where giving and receiving are intricately intertwined. As you engage with your community, whether it's your church, a small group, or just a circle of trusted friends, you're not just waiting for your own answers. You're participating in a grand tapestry of answered prayers where your thread is essential to the overall design. This perspective shifts your focus from self to others, from isolation to connection, and often it's in this shift that you find the very answers you've been seeking all along. Dear beloved soul, say this prayer after me. Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you today with an open heart, grateful for your constant presence in my life. Thank you for hearing my thoughts, my worries, and my deepest desires. I lay before you the burdens I carry, both the known and those hidden deep within. I trust that you understand each one and the longing behind them. Lord, I ask for clarity in moments of confusion and peace in times of chaos. Help me to recognize your voice amid the noise of this world. Strengthen my faith so I may wait patiently for your answers, believing that they will come in your perfect timing. May my heart be filled with hope and trust as I seek your will in my life. Open my eyes to the blessings that already surround me, reminding me of your grace in every situation. Guide me in my decisions and surround me with wise counsel. Help me to lean on my faith and the community you've placed around me, fostering connections that uplift and encourage me. Let me also be a source of strength to others, sharing the love and light that you have so generously given. As I journey through my challenges, remind me that you are always with me, holding my hand, guiding me through the valleys. May I experience your peace, especially on nights when my heart feels heavy. Replace my doubts with faith and my fear with courage so that I can face each day with renewed hope. Thank you for your unwavering love and the knowledge that I am never alone in this journey. I surrender all my worries to you, trusting that you will answer me according to your perfect will. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. As we conclude this heartfelt exploration of faith and the assurance that God will answer you, let's take a moment to honor the journey we shared. We've delved into the depths of uncertainty, lifted our worries into the light of prayer, and reminded ourselves of the unwavering love that surrounds us. Life, with its twists and turns, can often feel overwhelming, but within every challenge lies an opportunity for growth and divine connection. Remember, whenever you feel lost or in need of direction, God is there, actively listening, guiding, and preparing the way. Let this be a reminder to keep your heart open and your spirit willing to receive. God's responses may not always align with your expectations, but they will always carry purpose and love. Hold fast to hope. Your prayers are being woven into the fabric of His plan for you. Embrace the moments in between as essential parts of your story, rich with lessons and experiences that lead you closer to the light you seek. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. It means the world to share these thoughts and reflections with you. As you step back into the rhythm of your everyday life, carry the belief that God is ever present, ready to answer your calls for help, assurance, and clarity. If you found this message impactful, I invite you to like this video, subscribe for more content on faith, spirituality, and personal growth, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your stories, questions, and insights are valuable, and I'd love to hear from you. Remember, you are never alone in your struggles and joys alike. Keep seeking, keep believing, and until next time, may you find peace in the knowledge that God is listening and answering you in profound ways. God bless you on your journey,